So that's how you go from this to this. Hi and welcome. Today we're gonna look at Matvei's piece. Let's dive into it. So you can see on this piece it says press, P-R-E-S. Really like that he has made all these pointy edges along all his letters so it becomes a bit coherent. Maybe for my taste the E gets a little bit too much pushed behind, so I would stretch much more away from each other. This negative space that is between the P and the R is too much. When we look at the overall piece, you can see that he still has some practice for can control and some of the lines are super blurry but if he's new to graffiti, I think it's a very good starting point. Also see here with the key line that the white lines or the key lines are overlapping too much. Here it would be necessary with a cutback, trying to avoid edges like that goes outside of the key line. Same goes for here, and he has a lot of drips all over, but you know, overall I think it's okay. His white lines are okay as well. I guess he has a lighting point coming from this way, but if it had to be totally correct, he would also need a white line here and here, also here, here as well, here. Because every time you separate letters like this, you have to treat it as a new outline. So even though you already put the white line here, when you do a separation of a letter with this one, you actually need to do an outline here as well, because you have separated each letter so it becomes two parts of one block. I see the fact that he's like doing reverse colors on the arrow on the end, but for me the arrow doesn't fit in right here. It becomes too much of a random add-on. It's not like you can see that it's a part of the piece. Maybe if you had done a background of some sort it would be much more coherent, but for me this arrow I would just delete because the piece is better without it. So if I had to freshen up this piece, I would press the P and the R a bit together and give the E a little bit more space, and then I would fix this S. I don't think it fits very well with the other letters. He has been trying to add some of the style elements from the other letters, but I think I would make this block a little bit more narrow and this hole in the E a little bit more cool. And I think the ending of the E right here to just do a block ending, I don't think that fits very well with the rest. Let's dive into it. So starting with the P, let's try to acknowledge the original shape of the letter and then go from there. And I'll use one of my own brushes from our brush pack. It's called Outline Cap. So here I made the round edge here a little bit more round instead of it becoming too pointy as it is right there. I just think it gives a nicer flow, and then you don't get the huge space here and the little space there. Always when I'm making P's or R's, I try to follow this line so I know where my hole in the P should be, because the way that he made it is that he has a block that comes from here, and then he suddenly has a block that comes from here, and that doesn't fit well with the eye, so you need to follow the flow of the already existing bars you have made. So I think this would be my P. The R would be made in kind of the same way. I'm not too keen on making the hole down here, because then this one would be super big, even bigger actually. So like this, I would much rather try to make it the same distance as this one. So I'll imagine that it goes here and then take it from there. So I think something like this. So as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit to get the room for it because of this block added to the R. And I'm thinking about maybe tilting it a little bit so there's a bit more room for it. But now this E doesn't fit that well with the P and the R because the rounder shapes here and here is too dominant. I think I would actually change these lines so it fits with the E instead of the other way around. Doing it a bit more edgy, and then doing the holes a bit edgy as well to keep the style coherent. This is better now. It's not perfect, it's not fantastic, but it's better. A little add-on here. If you look at the piece, the top lines are a bit too far from each other. You can see the S is a bit too big in terms of the P, so I think actually I'll just make the P a little bit bigger. Also now it has the same kind of flow. We have some movement going this way and some movement going this way. When you're making this symmetry in your pieces, it actually makes them more coherent. Yeah, so I think a sketch for me would look like this. I'll add a quick 3D to it. Going back to our brush pack, cleaning up a bit. I'll just add a few smaller elements to it. Background. So Matvei, I hope that you could use this feedback. I know this sketch might be far away from your original outline. I hope you could take something with it, and if you go out and paint this sketch, then make sure to tag us in it. We would love to see the results. Yeah, have a good day.